tomorrow about what we're planning on doing, and it is even greater than that this year. Not only just one feeding, but a program of continual feeding. But we're going to have feeding programs, a food pantry and a clothing bank, and mass feedings. It is our desire to have a homeless shelter. How many of you know we desperately need a homeless shelter in Robeson County in this area? We have one homeless shelter in this area, and if you check into the homeless shelter, you can check in at 7 at night, and you have to pack up everything and be gone by 7 in the morning. And a family that's homeless, and there are many, many families that are homeless in Robeson County with their children. Their children, if they're homeless, their children cannot enroll in school. We tried to get a family last year enrolled. They said they can't enroll because they don't have a permanent address, and the homeless shelter will not allow them to use their address. So therefore, the children could not even enroll in school because they were homeless. I believe it's time for God's people to come together, and we have a homeless shelter that would minister to those that are homeless in this area. Brother Barnes, you may be saying, well, where's that money going to come from? Guess what? There are foundations and there are ways to get grants. I'm not talking about government grants where the government can stick their nose in everything, but there are foundations that we can get funding from, and we need to begin to pray, and we're going to begin to actively seek God about this, and I believe God will give us a place to have a homeless shelter so we can reach out to those who are in need. I shared with someone I've shared with numbers of people that in the state of Virginia, they have homeless shelters just for families where a family can go in and they can have a job. But people work and they don't make enough money to keep their homes, and they're displaced. They're evicted and they're out on the street. They have shame for them. Family to be sleeping in a car is not the way of the power of for us to stand there. It is to be able to use women, homeless for reintegration, and this is very important to me, a homeless of reintegration for men and women released from prison to assist them in reacclimating themselves back into society. You know, if you haven't, and I pray none of you have, but if you have, when you're released from prison, you're released with the money that's on the books and the clothes that you have. That's it. And they put everything in a green garbage bag, and they tell you, have a nice day. And the reason so many people go back to prison is because they're released and they have nothing. They have nowhere to go. They don't know how to get a job because of their record. No one will give them a chance. No one will counsel them. No one will talk with them. No one will show with them how to get reacclimated to society. I'm not talking about people who've been in jail for 30 days. I'm talking about people who have been in prison and their lives have been turned upside down, and many of their families have walked away from them.